Hi guys, my name is Serge Spadarets, and today we'll describe you how to do the platform engineering in practice. My path in my career is started as a typical engineering leader. I was a developer, then technical leader and architect, and after switched to engineering manager. So managed team size went from 10 to 20. After director of engineering and VP global head of engineering. This to show you that I worked with and created different platforms, working from the very development point of view to engineering leader, but also worked with finance, sales, products to deliver this properly because it should be overseen from all the points of view to be effective. I created different platforms and I'm still very technical. I'm a contributor to Terraform, JavaScript, and Chrome itself. So, we speaking about platform engineering. Why we even speaking about this? Well, we start with why. So problems we had were 95% of availability, 20 days per year we were down. If customers had problems, meaningful time to recovery if our service was down was 1 day. So it's unacceptable even from logical point of view. Uh, Amount of vendors was more than 100. Cost was crazy because of that. No security checks and rollouts of security fixes was done per team. Every team had a bit different stack, and pro deployments were once per month because mainly absence of proper and effective CI/CD and all the other goodness. What different parts of organization asked? Yeah, so finance, of course, wanted more better cost efficiency in engineering and operations. Product more asked for faster time to market of experimentation. Security was simply asking, guys, we want to roll out security fixes fast, but also detect security problems early in the delivery pipeline. Simple, but not so simple to do this at scale. There was different requests for the common architecture, and all this had to be combined in solution done for the organization and customers. So first idea was perfect. Let's apply DevOps, which is a great practice. Yeah. If you go to ChatGPT and ask it how to apply DevOps, you will have similar answer which you have from your experience. It should be done per organization. It requires specific approaches to be done effectively and properly in every organization. So go figure. Organizational structure, you have good guidance like team topologies and other books, but you need to find the way. Okay, so platform engineering was promised and to resolve both these problems, to apply DevOps principles and practices uh, in our organization, right? And help with the proper engineering and operations structure, team structure. Okay, so how? Let me share you the tools and approaches which I used during last 10 years with my teams and which showed uh, very well from practice. So first, everyone, when you start with the platform, make sure that you start delivering value as soon as possible. For that, make sure that you have one place everyone can find you, some particular site, and provide there something like version documentation. Use DocuShour, Markdown documentation generator, anything. Make sure that you provide quick start for developers, how to download some application, how to use some guidance, how to apply analytics, how to apply different parts of events, and yada 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 yada. Simple, effective, everyone can find you in one place. After, you of course will use something like Backstage. Backstage is an open source developer portal solution which allows you to put all your APIs, documentation, and other for your internal customers who are your developers in one place. Perfect. So first stage, make sure that you have this starting point, which is simple developer portal. Start delivering the value. You need to start picking some pilot team, which will start taking this, delivering value, and speaking about you, right? Typically, in my practice, it is some product team or a few of them which created reusable solution. You add in a few operations, a few security guys to work with them, and they start delivering a first version of platform. Don't call it platform, it's still childhood, use internal names, and then start switching to the next step. Next steps. Remember, platforms is not only about Kubernetes or APIs. It's also about front end, about team structure. So as I said, it should be resolved to the complex to be organically solving your problems. For example, for front end, for front end, make sure that you creating the common layer, which is also platform, which is UI framework, reusable components, and use, for example, storybooks. So storybooks allows you to put all your it's an open source solution which allows you to provide all your components in one place, describe for the teams how to download them, how to use them, how to provide actually CSS solutions, override some metadata, do some actions, show the variations of your components for different countries. Anything you'd like, put this in Storybook, deliver to your customers. It should be also version similar as you see here. Perfect. So this is second part. Of course, pack your solution into your React app, Vue app. Make sure that customers can download your web application. Start growing your front-end platform. This is another part. Third part, of course, think about microservices and all the backend parts, which is there about the databases and other pieces. So first of all, decide which main programming languages approaches you would use across organization. Let me show you what I say. We, for example, used JHipster. Make sure that you decide is it Java, is it Python, or depending on what skills you have inside the organization, what hiring is good for you, and speak with your architect, staffs, and others. JHipster is a good example, which when you run JHipster and you're saying, I want to create a simple application, it asks you, do you want, for example, monolithic application where it's combination of front end and back end? And I would say yes. It asks me what type of authentication I want to use. You will need to resolve this for your application. It asks which type of database, same as exact type, is it MariaDB, MySQL, or other. Caching, it will come to caching yet. The persistent caching, I, for example, love Redis here. Hibernate and Maven Gradle build system, it will ask also just which CI/CD to use. Everything like that. The more, the better you pack in your reusable templates. So let me show you. I created application like that. Here it is, my app. And I have reusable application which delivers my web React application because I chose to do it, and my Java Spring Boot. Sure, here it's up and running. Let's take a look. Yeah, simple application running on my local machine, and now I want to say here it really works. I'm not bullshitting you, so remember me. Here. Perfect. Database works, everything works, I can use it, and it works locally. Now I want to deliver this to my fellow users in my company. How do I do it? So you can, remember I told you about a Backstage. Go to Backstage, it's again open source and simple. Add a new template, here it is, and inside of this template, simply put this particular application which I described to you. Take a look, I just put it there. The same web app, the same Java, simply put it there. And make sure that you changing it to be a template. So add it with your CI/CD templates, with your infrastructure as code, with your security policies. Everything what's needed should be packed there. Why? Then inside of your Backstage, so take a look. This is Backstage, which is running on my machine. Then of course it can be delivered. So you will be able to allow anyone in your organization to reuse your templates which already have been packed typical microservices, typical CI/CD, typical security solutions, checks, anything, and you will grow in this solution with time. So let's take a look. I created simple JHipster application. I want to create an app using it, right? So let me just show you how it works. I want to use, for example, GitHub, right? I will use my own GitHub because why not, right? Inside of organization, it will be your own. And let's start creating. We'll see if it works. Typically, it is, yeah. So similar experience you will have for your guys in your organization. They know exactly where to find this developer portal, right? They know exactly that they can create, reuse your application templates. They know that your application templates provide CI/CD, security checks, and other goodness, which is the golden pass across organization. They will do exactly as I do now. This will enable you to grow with your platform. So let's take a look what really happens there. Meanwhile, let me open just my GitHub. See to the latest. Sorry, it's slow. Repositories, still creating. Here, my app. It really created the repository. It's still writing, but I'll show you. It really creating the repository. It starts writing the file there exactly as we said in the template, right? So this will be the goodness because literally it will allow you to deliver all this up with all this goodness. You can pack there also the developer experience goodness like Git hooks, which can run some tests in your which you require in your organization. Security values, infrastructure as code, so you can use, for example, AWS S3, EKS, Kubernetes, and other goodness, right? Um, hmm, Unfortunately, it takes too long, so maybe I'll just stop it at some point. Okay. Yay. Registering, hopefully. Done. Perfect. So let me just see what happens. Here is actually it created. Well done. So I didn't bullshit you. And it's really a real project, which is just committed, created from my template. And the best part, yeah, remember I packed the git hooks, and from initial commit, what it starts doing, it starts deploying to AWS because I said so, and literally it will start by doing npm install, set up node, install dependency, and publish to AWS. So let me show that really the application which I just showed you, running locally will be running the same remotely. Done. So take a look. Of course, I did this a bit earlier because it takes 5-6 minutes. So this is application running on AWS S3 and the backend running on AWS EKS Kubernetes, right? Perfect. You can do all this, and after every team can start using your solution and taking your new versions. So that's the power of the platform, and at this point you will be adolescents for part of stage of the evolution of your platform, because you will have your developer portal, you will have Git, CI, CD, testing, and infrastructure goodness packed there, and your platform team will start growing. So here it will be around a few teams, ops, security, and you will have 5-7 customers teams inside of your application, inside of your organization. After that, you need to do tons of work, literally tons, right? You need to provide common artifacts and container solutions, environments, observability, upgradability that everyone can take new versions. So how to do this? I created, based on my experience and with the input from other guys who contributed, awesome platform engineering. It's a list of tools which you can use for all the goodness in the platform. What do you do for Kubernetes? What do you do for service mesh? What do you do there? So all this experience of 10 years, nobody paid for this. It's also open source. I try to actually more keep this to open source solution. So reuse it and feel free to contribute to that. At that point, when you add in all this, you will have observability, you will have upgradability that every time you add in your platform, your customers can get this. Your actually platform team will start organically grow and have front-end parts, back-end parts, and other parts. So it will be growing up to a few hundred people. That's what's happening. So let me summarize everything that I spoke about. What we achieved when we did then we went platform engineering and the approach which I described. So it was 50 apps, 100 microservices, 20 plus micro frontend. So this is technically speaking. But more important, our meaningful time to recovery when actually our service went down was up to 4 hours. So it was improvement in more than 6 times. Availability went from 20 days down per year to 5 minutes per year. So amazing. Time to market from once per month pro deployments to daily. Security checks, it was perfect because when all this was platform based, security fix we were able to deliver with our platform. So typically it was taking up to 1 hour when it was crazy. It was the crazy supply chain fix. We rolled out once in 3 hours in between all these 100 microservices. It's possible when you have a platform. And other metrics, NPS score, time to onboarding went up as well. So we delivered what we promised for different parts of organizations. And what tips I can give you from experience? Important, super important. Pilot team is your evangelist. Make sure that you're picking them very right. Treat platform as a product from the very beginning. Internal teams are your customers. Make sure you have a PM, you think about the developer experience as I showed you, and grow and deliver the value constantly. For UI adoption, make sure that you work with UX. For infrastructure, developer and operations, security SecOps is your actually best partners in crime. Cooperate with leadership. They must enable top-down to provide you top-down support for bottom-up enablement. This is working from all the pieces. If you read Phoenix Project and the second book, yes, it's a unicorn project. It's all only works from both sides. It cannot be from one. And jackpot platform strategy. This is from me to you. Every 3 times we found a way to deliver this platform not only to internal customer developers but for external customers. So first we tested dev solutions internally, and then also developers from customers could use the same by themselves. Believe me or not, it makes everyone happy. So it gives money for company. It gives you the goodness of platform engineering and development and purpose in this life. So, guys, I love traveling, yeah, and I trust that if you don't be afraid to do the first step. So, a great journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So, now go actually start building your amazing platform, right? Make sure that you contribute to platform engineering tooling list, which I showed you. Feel free to jump and connect on LinkedIn. Thank you very much, guys. Have a nice one.